welcome to your darling program showing every Monday and every Saturday by 5 p.m. on Monday and by Saturday every 10:30 on morning. And today I have Tribune newspaper and I have the Punch newspaper. And firstly, we go to the Tribune newspaper with me. And the headline here with me with the Tribune newspaper: Nigerians turning into a police state, hunger alarming. Nigeria struggling to survive, says Muslim leaders. I met native doctors on TikTok. Federal government promotes 20,867 civil defense, immigration, prison, fire service officers. Government declare Monday public holiday to mark Eid al-Maulud. And the story food in details. Government declare Monday public holiday to mark Eid al-Maulud celebration. The federal government has declared Monday, 16 September 2024, as a public holiday to mark the celebration of the Eid al-Maulud, the birth of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who made the declaration on behalf of the federal government, congratulated the Muslim Ummah both at home and in diaspora of this occasion. Permanent Secretary Dr. Magdi Ajani conveyed this in a statement made available to newsmen on Friday in Abuja. Tunji-Ojo urged the Muslim Ummah and by extension Nigeria to imbibe the spirit of patience, sacrifice, and resilience. While congratulating Muslims on the occasion, the ministers implored them to use the opportunity of the period to pray for enduring peace and more prosperous egalitarian nations. Government declared Monday public holiday to mark Eid al-Maulud celebration. The full details of this story is on page 3 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Another story here with me in the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Federal government approved promotion of 20,867 officers of civil defense, immigrations, and others. The federal government has approved the promotion of 20,867 senior officials across various ranks in paramilitary agencies under the Ministry of Interior, Civil Defense, Correctional, Fire, and Immigration Service Board, announced this on Friday in Abuja. Addressing newsmen after the board meeting, which stated on Thursday, the secretary of the board, Jafaru Ahmed, noted that the officer promotes cuts across all the agencies under the board jurisdiction. The board considered and approved the promotion of 20,867 officers, senior officers across the rank, from inspectors to assistant superintendents to controllers and AGs and in NCOs, NIS, Federal Fire Service, and NCDC, Ahmed said. He said 5,339 officers were promoted in the Nigeria Correctional Service, 5,112 in the Nigeria Immigration Service, and 489 in the Federal Fire Service, and 9,937 in the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. Federal government approved promotion of 20,867 senior officers of civil defense, immigrations, and others. The full details of this story is in page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Another story here with me in the Nigerian Tribune newspaper: tackling poverty, unemployment skills to ending nation's security challenges. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tarut Lagbaja has said solving the twin problems of poverty and unemployment is a critical to effectively deal with insecurity and instability in the country. He noted that related to the factors of unemployment and poverty is demography, and youth bunch with citizens below the age of 35 years accounting for about 54.1% of the population. Out of the high youth population, he said less than 20% of them are gainfully employed. Lagbaja stated this while presenting the first strategy personality lectures at the Institute of Peace and Strategic Studies, University of Ibadan. Combining an adversary without boundaries, the need to implement a whole-of-society approach to Nigerian national security on Friday, represented by the General Officer Commanding 2 Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Obinna Onugbudu. The Chief of Army Staff added that unemployment and poverty fuel the nation's security challenges, as the unemployed and the poor are sustainable and recruitment by criminals and violence, such as state actors. Tackling poverty, unemployment key to ending nation's security challenges. The full details of this story is in page 6 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Another story here with me in Nigerian Tribune newspaper. NGO launches initiative to enhance learning use digital technologies. The Aid of Rural Education Access Initiative has launched the Center for Digital Development and Innovation Research with the aim to prepare students and professionals of digital technologies for the advancement of learning and teaching. The executive directors of ARIA, Prince Gideon Olariwaju, while addressing journalists on Thursday in Abuja, said the vision for the center is of research insights and evidence-informed design at the edge of development, where decisions are informed by relevant and rigorous data, and where knowledge is created with the communities it is intended to serve. The Director of Programs of ARIA, Anthony Simon, explained that the CDIR seek to be leading think tank that will create a superior clusters of digital innovations, expertise, and skill development for the consistent use of robust evidence to inform policy formulation, resource allocation, and program implementation to digital education. We seek to develop digital transformation initiative in close cooperation with the industry and the academic. NGO launches initiative to enhance learning using digital technologies. The full details of this story is in page 7 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Another story here will be seen in the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Oba Aromolaran left worthy legacies. Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji has expressed his condolence on the transition of the Owa Obokun Adimola of Ijesha land, Oba Gabriel Adekunle Aromolaran. The governor, in a statement by his special advisors on Media Yinka Oyebode, described the loss of the prominent monarch as a painful and monumental. He noted that the late Oba Aromolaran distinguished himself not only as a first-class traditional ruler, but also as a renowned educationalist, father figure, peacemaker, nation builder, and a responsible of history and knowledge. Governor Oyebanji said the late Oba Aromolaran left worthy legacies that will continue to benefit generations yet unborn and had immortalized himself in the hearts of the people. Oba Aromolaran left worthy legacy. The full details of this story is in page 7 of Nigeria Tribune newspaper. And lastly, with me in the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, Oba Aromolaran was a great leader to emulate. A University of Ibadan Don and Ijesha Prince, Dr. Adeniran Aluko, has described the late Oba Adekunle Aromolaran as a worthy example to follow in contemporary society. Aluko, and an associate professor of peace and conflict studies, is the director of 10th Fund Centers of Excellence in Multidisciplinary Studies. The International Authority in Peace and War Studies lamented that Oba Aromolaran departed at the time when the nation needed guidance and wise monitoring. He said Oba Aromolaran did not allow partisan's interests to immunitate the traditional institution. He was fair and impartial and a father to all, adding that the Oba served Ijesha land and by his extension, the nation at large with integrity. His decorum and dignity was a sanitary presence in the traditional institution. He said Oba Aromolaran was a great leader to emulate. The full details of this story is in page 24 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And before we go to the second edition of this program, if you'd like to follow us on our website, you can click on WWABNTV Network. And we also have a social media. You can follow us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. On our Facebook, you can click on ABNTV Houston. You can like and share and comment. Make sure you subscribe on our website, on our social media. And we also have our Twitter. You can click on ABNTV Houston. And likewise on our YouTube, you can click on ABNTV Houston. And on our Twitter, you can click on ABNTV Nigeria. And lastly, on our Instagram, you can click on ABNTV Nigeria. Try to subscribe and like and comment and share. If you like to also like and direct on our website page and our social media page, like, subscribe and like and comment. Before we come back to the second edition of this program, The Punch newspaper, let's listen to what we have for you in our studio. We'll be right back.
African Broadcasting Network. African Broadcasting Network. It's all about Africa. Africa. It's all about motherland. Celebrating rich cultural heritage. ABN, we bring the best. African. It's Africa. Broadcasting Network. Broadcasting Network. network. Entertainment, education, African Broadcasting Network. Oh yeah, information, cultural values. African Broadcasting Network. ABN, celebrating Africa's rich cultural heritage.
And I hope we enjoy what we have for you in our studio. Now to the second edition of this program, the Punch newspaper. Petrol leading from Dangote refinery begin next week. Edo governor polls, APC, PDP, and Labour Party trade tackles as party mobilize huge fund for vote buying. Current Super Eagles lacking 1,994 squared chemistry and ritual. Single ladies panic as bloodthirsty boyfriend slaughters their lovers. The food says, let's listen to the story in details. The petrol loading from Dangote refinery begins next week. All marketers have confirmed that they will start lifting premium metal spirits, popular known as petrol, Dangote petrol refinery next week, while some revealed that they had been started sending trucks to the Lagos-based multi-billion-dollar plant to load products from Sunday. Others stated that their tankers would hit the refinery any day from next week. It was also gathered that some dealers are expecting imported petrol before the end of this month. Saturday Punch gathered on Friday that the vessel of some major marketers will arrive in the country in the next 10 days. Although the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, recently announced that the only NNPC will lift 3 MS from the Dangote refinery. At the moment, all marketers stated on Friday that they had already commenced moves to load their trucks with petrol from the plant. The initial daily supply from the refinery is anticipated to be 25 million liters. We should start loading from the plant next week, and aside from that, many marketers are planning to import PMS before the end of this month. A major marketer who spoke to our correspondents in confidence due to the lack of authorization to comment on the matter stated. The source added, this means the declaration of PMS prices are set in fully. Nobody wants to be as the wheels and comprised of NNPC again. Or whether there was an agreement on the price of Dangote petrol. The dealer replied, the agreement on price has not been reached yet, but what I asked our people was how we sure are we that we are get the market if we bring in products at about 1,100 per liters. Petrol loading from Dangote refinery begins next week. The full details of this story is on page 4 of Nigerian Punch newspaper. Another story here we see in the Nigerian Punch newspaper. The Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce asks manufacturers to diversify. The Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce Industry, Mines and Agriculture has outlined a comprehensive strategy to help Nigerian manufacturers navigate the current economic turbulence and secure long-term success. The Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce Industry and Mines and Agriculture, President Dele Oye, said manufacturers needed to diversify their product portfolios and exploit new market segments. These strategies, he noted, was essential for mitigating risks associated with economic fluctuation and seizing emerging opportunities. He said, by expanding their product range and market presence, manufacturers can better share themselves from market volatility and adapt to evolving consumer demand. Oye described investment in workforce development as a critical area for improvement, adding that the training of employees remain pivotal and enhancing productivity and adaptability within the dynamic manufacturing sector. The Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture asks manufacturers to diversify. The full details of this story is on page 5 of Nigerian Punch newspaper. Another story here we see in the Nigerian Punch newspaper. 59 back first class at OSUN graduate 2,409. The Vice Chancellor of OSUN State University OSOGBO, Professor Clement Adeboye, on Friday said a total of 2,409 students of OSUN State University OSOGBO will bag various degrees and diplomas during the 14th convocation of the institution. While addressing the journalists, To arrange activities for this 8 days convocation ceremonies, Professor Adeboye commended staff of the institution for their dedication to duties. Adeboye, who was flanked by the principal officers of the university, noted that the support of the state government for the institution and congratulated these graduating students and their parents on their successful completion of their academic journey to the university. Speaking on the class of grade obtained by the students, Adeboye said 2,145 got first degree, 10 had postgraduate diploma, and 214 for master's and 40 for doctoral degrees. The breakdown of the various degrees and diploma in times of the class of degrees is as follows. 59 back for first class as OSUN graduate 2,409 students. The full details of this story is on page 9 of Nigerian Punch newspaper. And lastly, with me, Nigerian Punch newspaper, tackling hardship key to insecurity, says the co-ax. The Chief of Army Staff, Legend General Tarud Abiodun Lagbaja, has said Nigeria must plan to solve the twin problems of poverty and unemployment to avert long-term insecurity and instability in the country. The Chief of Army Staff stated this while presenting the fourth strategy personality lecture of the Institute of Peace and Strategy Studies, University of Ibadan, on Friday. Represented by the General Officer Commanding 2 Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Obina, the QIS maintained that the twin problems of unemployment and poverty has given impetus to security challenges, as the unemployed are poor as sustainable to recruitment by criminals and violent non-state actors. He said a whole-of-society approach must be implemented in Nigeria by leveraging the strength of every stakeholder to ensure a comprehensive and coordinated response to threats. To achieve this, there must be an enhanced communication, cooperation, and trust among the different sectors, and efforts must be aligned with national interests and other security objectives. The strategies can potentially address the root causes of insecurity, such as poverty, unemployment, and social injustice, often exploited by adversaries, Lagbaja said. According to him, the porous and unnamed borders of Nigeria have opened Nigeria to the infiltration of adversaries from the West Africa, adding that 4 West African countries rank among the 10 most tourist nations of the world is indicative of the transnational inflation as existing among terror groups in sub-Saharan Africa. Lagbaja said no single agency could solve the myriad of insecurity facing this country, and that the Nigerian Army was deeping strategy with other agencies to achieve the mandate of security of lives and properties and keeping the country safe. Tackling hardship key to insecurity, says Chief of Army Staff. The full details of this story is on page 19 of Nigerian Punch newspaper. And that's what we have for you on our newspaper review. If you'd like to follow us on our website page, you can click on ABN TV Network. On our website, you can click on www.abn TV Network. And we also have our social media. You can follow us and subscribe and like and comment. You can follow us on Facebook. You can click on ABN TV OSUN. And likewise on our YouTube, you can click on ABN TV OSUN. And likewise on our Twitter, you can follow us on ABN TV Nigeria. And lastly, on our Instagram, you can click and subscribe and like and comment. You can click on ABN TV Nigeria. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. My name is Kenny Afolabi. Bye for now.